13.
I'm going to convene the meeting of the City Council meeting. Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the roll.
Sullivan,
Here?
Stompanato,
Here.
Shower, Legansky,
Here.
Kenny,
Here.
Gustafson, Belzak.
Here.
5 present and 2 absent.
We have a quorum. That takes us to questions and comments and announcements of a general nature. Does anybody in the audience have anything that they would like to announce this, or talk about or discuss that's not on our agenda tonight? If not, we'll move to approval of minutes. I'm looking for a motion to approve the June 19th, 2023 minutes. Moved by Alderman Stompanato, seconded by Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Stompanato,
Aye.
Kenny,
Aye.
Belzak,
Aye.
Legansky,
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
The minutes have been approved. Takes us to receiving communications. Do any of the aldermen have communications they'd like to share? Alderman Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I got a couple of communications here. One from Ed Andorf on Summit regarding lights on Holly Park. I forwarded his communication to Stephanie Gergon at the Park District and took care of that rapidly. But there was an issue with in Darien Club. There was some homeowners association happenings going on where there were signs put up, and I'm not going to announce names here tonight because I don't want to shake the apple cart. But we're looking for the city of Darien to do some kind of enforcement of these signs, but they were on private property. And talked to Brian and I, and we toured the properties, and it would have violated their their constitutional right for us to do anything with it. So we just told the people, sorry, we can't do anything about it. They have a homeowners association; their rules can enforce it, but we weren't going to be able to do anything. So that's all I got for communication tonight.
I received an email from an individual, again, I won't mention the name.
Right.
For the same thing, and I actually drove through the subdivision, and it appeared that the signs didn't start showing up until you hit about the 1500th area on
Right.
the west side of Darien Club. And I responded to the individual the same way, that it would have been a violation of those people's constitutional rights to have those signs. They were on private property. There was nothing obscene about them. They were just bothersome to some of the people within that area.
Correct.
Anything else? Mary?
I want to thank Deanne Gombeck and Municipal Services for helping us get the not the parkway, I guess the right-of-way that technically does not belong to the development that's happening on South Frontage Road, known as Sokol Court area. But relying on IDOT to do any type of maintenance, we'd be, it'd be more than knee-high by the 4th of July, like the corn. So thank you for getting the owners to take care of that, and the residents, I know, appreciate that, and hopefully they can also continue to do that just as a good faith gesture.
Thank you, and that's why we had a conversation with them. Obviously, they want to be good neighbors, and they've demonstrated that. Once the building is occupied and the landscaping is in place, they plan on making that part of their menu, if you want to say. Unfortunately, right now, they don't have a lot of grass to cut, so there really was no need to it. But yes, we did have a conversation with them.
Anyone else? Okay, takes us to our mayor's report. And I love evenings like this when we can honor individuals who have done something outstanding for the city. As you know, 4 years ago, we instituted an award called the Heart of Darien Award. And we've given that out for some very unique reasons to people over the course of that time. Cynthia McGann for her Good Works program, Kathy Minardi for her work with on Arbor Day. Not a lot recently, but we have given a few out. We gave one out to the DuPage mayors and managers. I received a phone call over a month ago from Linda Sepio, right, or Lisa Sepio. And Lisa was very excited to tell me about something that she witnessed and something that she felt was worthy of some type of recognition by the city of Darien. And I think everybody's here tonight because of what took place. I'm going to read this. This was something I published in one of my mayor's messages, but I took excerpts from this that I want to read tonight. In several of my mayor's messages, I've written about individuals who step out of their bubble and take actions that contribute to the betterment of our world or our Darien community. The actions of Stephanie Koklis on May 27th were surely the action of someone who acted instinctively as she came across a situation that demanded immediate attention. Lisa Sepio, the resident who shared this occurrence with me, feels strongly that Stephanie is, in her estimation, a hero. And I agree, believing that her action can best be described in a quote by Christopher Golden and Nancy Holder that states, "A hero is someone who does what must be done and needs no other reason." Stephanie would probably describe her action as something anyone might do under the same circumstances, while many of us look upon her actions as those of a hero. There is a gentleman who is with us tonight who will have an opportunity to continue his life, to get up in the morning, see his family, work at his job, and hopefully enjoy a bright future. He has that opportunity due to the unselfish actions of an individual who saw a need to become involved and followed her instincts. Just to let you know, Stephanie came upon a situation where an individual had gone to the ground and she performed CPR and she called the paramedics. According to what I understand, and Stephanie can tell me if I think she told me on the phone, the paramedics told her that if she had not performed CPR, he might not be with us today. And to me, that's a hero. So we want to thank Stephanie for her response to an emergency on May 27th. Her actions and the actions of others like her are what make Darien a wonderful community and a nice place to live. Due to her unselfish behavior, we honor Stephanie this evening with the Heart of Darien Award. Stephanie? Take this out of the box, we'll show you what it is.
So nice.
I'm the unofficial photographer.
Oh, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's so sweet.
Would you like to introduce the individual who...
Yes, this is Wojciech. This is actually my first time seeing him since the incident.
Yes.
So, it's amazing. I'm so grateful to have you in my life.
Is there anything you'd like to say?
No, I mean,
Joe, why don't you let him go on the mic?
this is the first time I see Stephanie since the incident happened.
Wow.
I'm obviously under a lot of emotions. Glad I'm here.
I'm too very overwhelmed. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council, for taking the time in your meeting to honor me with this. I'm extremely grateful, but I couldn't be up here without thanking the 911 dispatcher and the paramedics who truly are my heroes in this story, because it's all kind of a blur from that morning, but man, if he had not coached me over the phone. I've just thought about that morning so many times, and every time I think about that I'm just relieved and happy, so happy for you guys. And on top of that, this whole crew, I mean, after the paramedics took him away and I was walking back to my car, I kind of thought, like, is this the end of the story? You know, I don't know what the next steps are, but that afternoon, I mean, friends, family were reaching out to me, and every single day, multiple times a day, keeping me in the loop and befriending me, showing up to my gigs. I'm a musician. I mean, I have lifelong friends now that, you know, the day before were absolute strangers, and the world is weird like that. Life is just so unpredictable and strange, and I'm just so thankful God brought these people in my life, and thank you for this. I will treasure this forever. So thank you.
Mayor, may I ask a question? Yeah. You were never trained in CPR. Is that what I'm?
I have been trained in the past for camps and stuff, but it's, you know, college days.
Okay.
It's been a while. I would not have been able to do it without the coaching, for sure.
Hold that with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we get a picture of everybody?
Yeah. Come up here. Sure. How's my eye game go?
We have the wardrobe in back, okay?
Put that in the meeting minutes. Oh, just kidding.
Take as many as you need.
Wonderful. Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Get involved anyway.
They say it's a guy with the work sense.
Sweet.
Lisa, I want to thank you for giving me that call that day and for just sharing with me what you saw. What I said was true. I wrote a couple of Maris messages about people who step out of their bubble, who decide that they're going to do something because there's a need, and not everybody does that. And in this case, I think Stephanie just responded because there was a need there, and she responded to that need. And it is so great to have an individual here tonight who is here because of the actions of another individual, and to see the friendship that's grown as a result of that. And that's really a beautiful thing. And I hope that's a relationship that you guys keep going for a long time. And Stephanie, if I'm ever out in Waterfall Glen and I'm running, I hope you're on the same path as I am. So thank you very much. I think the City Council and the people of the City of Darien, thank you. And as I know, everybody, you know, this gentleman over here thanks you very much. So thank you again. Yeah, if you don't want to stay, you don't have to stay.
My kids might just run.
If you, we'll give you a few minutes to, if you want to.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll mention the second thing on my mayor's report. We have an event that's going to take place at Carriage Greens, and it's called Golfing for Wishes. It's part of the Make-A-Wish Illinois program. Golfing for Wishes is now the largest Make-A-Wish Illinois fundraiser in the state. It is run by 100% non-paid volunteers. Over the past 27 years, they have written checks to Make-A-Wish Illinois that exceed $1.2 million. John Manta and his wife, who organizes this fundraiser, are Wish grant providers, which means they work with families and their Wish kids developing their wish and making their wish come true. This year, they will be holding their event at Carriage Greens Country Club on Friday, August 25th, 2023. Registration and breakfast begin at 7:30 and the shotgun start begins at 9 a.m. This year, they hope to break their record of generating donations for Make-A-Wish Illinois. Sadly, there are over 1,600 kids in the state of Illinois between the ages of 2 and 18 currently waiting for their wish due to a lack of funding. The average wish is now $10,000. It used to be $5,000, now it's 10. So there's a definite need. If anybody wants any more information, they want to play golf in this or they want to make a donation, let me know and I'll give you the information. With that, my mayor's report is over, and it takes us to city's clerk's report. Joanne?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Our city administrator?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Department head information questions. Any questions for Dan or Chief Thomas? Dan?
So, Mayor, yeah, just a couple things. Recently, we've had some incidences where residents have identified that there's boulders along the right-of-ways, which kind of want to, so we took a more aggressive approach. The city has been relaxed on it, if you want to say. In conjunction with this, we received a call from one party that said they have all these boulders in the right-of-way. And from there on, it expounded to other people calling in on other people, so on and so forth. So we took a little more of an aggressive approach to let residents know through our code enforcement that you cannot leave boulders or anything that's not authorized to be in a city right-of-way. What does that mean? City right-of-ways have the opportunity to have signs, permitted signs, speed limit signs, for example, no parking signs. In conjunction with that, the U.S. Postal Office, which is under the federal authority, also provides guidelines of what type of posts and what the setbacks are for post boxes or mailboxes. In conjunction with that, the city does allow what they refer to as the brick mailboxes, but the brick mailboxes, residents have to basically sign a waiver in regards to responsibility. So these boulders are now it's a little bit of an issue, but we just want to let the city council now know that we're basically allowing residents to remove them, put them back on the private property, and if they're not removed from the right-of-way, the Public Works Department will come out there and remove them for you and either discard them or put them back onto the property if you'd like to keep them. So there's probably close to 50, maybe 75 throughout the entire town. The most concentrated section at this point is between Clarendon Hills Road, Cass Avenue, Plainfield Road, and 67th Street. So in case you do start getting some calls on it, again, it is a liability issue, and the attorney, our counsel, John Murphy, has also advised us that, yes, they need to be removed. So we just wanted to make sure that residents out there are aware of that. If there's any questions, please feel free to give me a call. Again, it's Dan Gombeck at 630-353-8106. Be more than happy to work with the residents and answer any questions.
Dan, in many cases, I mean, this is not just decorative boulders. They're there to keep cars off from veering off onto the grass. And
Yeah.
really, they're using those as a barricade, a barrier of some type, which is, again, for all the reasons you mentioned, is very problematic.
Correct. And, years prior to, when we did, prior to the, I'm sorry, excuse me for a minute. Years prior to the ditches being completed, there was more of that where a car went off the road or somewhat off the road that it would sink into the actual ditches. Well, the ditches have now been improved with shoulders and were completed with the ditch program, that there really is not those situations out there. So again, we will evaluate them and make sure that, we go back and seed if any of the rocks are, when the rocks are removed, to take care of the actual divots. But again, they are a liability. A car hits them. Again, there's stories out there, and they're not very pretty stories about people getting impaled, so on and so forth.
Dan, when I spoke with you about this issue a couple weeks ago, my concern was the fact that we'd have allowed it to happen for 10 years or whatever it's been, a long period of time. And did you have an opportunity to speak with Attorney Murphy regarding any argument that we've let it lapse and therefore they're entitled to it?
The answer is yes, I did speak with the attorney, and there's nothing that would basically say that it's implied, meaning that the residents are forgiven and allowed to leave them in the right of way.
Anything else? Dan?
Just one more thing. I know Clarendon Hills Road, obviously with the sidewalk project, just want to remind residents, if you have the opportunity, stay off of Clarendon Hills Road between 67th Street and Plainfield Road. We've described it, right now it's a road closure from Plainfield to 67th. A lot of things going on. Traffic signals have recently been installed. The sidewalk project is underway. We're hoping to have the majority of the sidewalk, or the sidewalk should be completed by mid-August, early August, in conjunction with that. Once that's done, then we'll open up the roadway. Just so people understand, the reason that we've closed it is really for safety. And as we're putting the sidewalks in, we're going through driveways, and we're also working on that side, so we're requesting people to park from the east side to the west side. Again, that's there for protection and to also protect their vehicles and to allow the workers, ample room to get in with a lot of the machinery. After the concrete is poured, there's another 4 or 5 day waiting period because the concrete has to cure through the driveways. So really, the motivation behind this is, let's shut the road down, because it's not easy for residents to go from the east side to the west side, especially on a 2-lane, major area throughout town. And we ask residents, please slow down on and through the detours. Right now, the detour is high road. It is working, but nonetheless, residents need to be cognizant that you're going through more of a local secondary roadway, and be cognizant of the neighbors out there.
Any questions for Dan or for the chief? If none, we'll move on to our treasurer's report. Michael?
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'm requesting council's approval of warrant number 232405 in the amount of $1,131,485.32 from the listed funds. Payroll for the period ended June 29th, 23, the amount of $297,978.85, for a total to be approved of $1,429,464.17.
Motion to approve. Alderman Belzat, seconded by Alderman Kenny. Any questions or comments? None, the roll.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Legansky.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
That warrant has been approved. It takes us to the next warrant. Mike?
Okay, requesting council's approval of warrant number 232406 in the amount of $1,195,799.06 from the listed funds, and payroll for the period ended July 13th in the amount of $324,272.01, for a total to be approved of $1,520,071.07.
Motion to approve. Alderman Legansky, seconded by Alderwoman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? None, the roll.
Legansky.
Aye.
Sullivan.
Aye.
Belzak.
Aye.
Kenny.
Aye.
Stompanato.
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
That warrant has been approved. It takes us to standing committee reports. Do any of the aldermen, any of the chairmen have reports? Alderman Kenny?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The police committee meeting that was scheduled for this evening was canceled due to a lack of agenda items. Our next meeting will take place on Monday, August 21st, 2023 at 6:30 across the parking lot in the police training room.
Thank you. Alderwoman Sullivan?
I believe that the administrative finance meeting is going to be canceled on August 7th. Is that correct?
Yeah, we currently have no items, and we
Yeah.
don't anticipate any.
Right, and because I will not be at city council that night either. So that right now it looks like the admin finance committee will be canceled on Monday, August 7th.
Thank you. Alderman Belzak?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Municipal Services Committee meeting for July, which would have been next Monday, has been canceled, and our next meeting will now be on August the 28th at 6 p.m. in council chambers.
Thank you. Just to let everybody know, the Darien Action Committee met this last Saturday. number of items. This is really a great group of people, different representatives from different organizations throughout the city, and I'll be sharing the minutes of that meeting with all of you when I have those minutes typed up.
Joe, when's the next Darien Action meeting?
The next Action Committee meeting is actually the Saturday of Darien Fest. And we're thinking of not having a meeting that day because we'll be losing a number of people for setup as well as Darien Fest. So I've not made that final decision yet, but I've talked to April, and it's a good chance we're going to cancel that. We might move it a week later or early September.
Okay.
All right. Takes us to questions and comments. Agenda related. Does anybody have anything that they'd like to address the city council on that's on our agenda? All right. Takes us to old business. There being none, we move to consent. There's no consent agenda, so we move to new business. Item A, consideration of a motion to approve the release of executive session minutes that no longer require confidentiality. Motion to approve. Alderman Kennedy, second by Alderman Belzak. And discussion. If none, the roll.
Kenny?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Stompanato?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
It's been approved. Item B, consideration of motion to approve a resolution authorizing the license renewal of a web-based work order software with Granicus in an amount not to exceed $8,061.50. Motion to approve. Alderman Stompanato, second by Alderwoman Sullivan. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Stompanato?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Belzak?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
That item has been approved. Item C, consideration of a motion to approve a resolution accepting the unit price proposal from Langton Group for the purchase and installation of the 50/50 Parkway Tree Program and the Parkway Tree Replacement Program in an amount not to exceed $32,810. Motion to approve. Alderman Belzak, seconded by Alderman Stompanato. Any questions or comments? If none, the roll.
Belzak?
Aye.
Stompanato?
Aye.
Sullivan?
Aye.
Legansky?
Aye.
Kenny?
Aye.
5 ayes and 2 absent.
And that item has been approved. Takes us to questions and comments and announcements of a general nature. And I'll start out by saying that tomorrow night, the Darien Historical Society will be running a program at the Indian Prairie Library about Martin Barnaby Madden. This is the gentleman who built what we call Castle Eden, which is a 1/10 model of the White House. This man was a president of the Western Stone Company. He served on the Chicago City Council. He served in the United States House of Representatives, and he built this home in Darien for his wife, who was a member of the Smart family, and the Smart family owned all that property where the Carmelites now have their church and their shrine. Quite an interesting individual. Contrary to what people think, the Panama Canal Treaty was not signed in this house, but there is a room called the Panama Room. And I learned that Saturday just by talking to Dean Rodkin. So this is tomorrow night, July 18th, at the Indian Prairie Public Library. It's free and it starts at 7 o'clock. So if you want to learn a little bit about part of Darien, I would advise you to stop by the Indian Prairie Library tomorrow evening. Anyone else? Mary?
Oh, just a reminder that the second summer concert series will be held next Thursday. Not this Thursday, but the following Thursday, July 27th at Carriage Greens, and it'll start at 6 o'clock. There'll be food trucks and lots of fun, so come out, bring your chairs for an enjoyable evening. And if you get a chance between now and the beginning of September, I think it's September 10th, head on over to the College of DuPage to see the Warhol series. Obviously, our Darien heroes are in the library and also displayed here at City Hall, but it's extraordinary. I had an opportunity to see a Warhol exhibit not that long ago at the Art Institute downtown, and I feel like this exceeds that, all the things they have there. It's very cost effective, great thing to do in the summer, especially if it's a rainy or hot day, and you can purchase tickets ahead of time, but it is a paid admission to go in.
Thank you, Mary. Anyone else? If not, motion to adjourn. Alderman Kennedy, seconded by Alderman Legansky. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned at 8 o'clock.
Oh, wow, that's good.